Hello, welcome back to Sarah's Softies, and we're doing Let's Chat about how to make memory quilts, mostly referred to as t-shirt quilts. This is video 4, I think, and today we're going to discuss needles, thread, and other tools you're going to need when you actually start piecing the shirt together. By now you should have all your shirts prepped and ready to go. First thing first, what kind of needle are you using? I prefer to use a stretch needle, and the reason for that is a stretch needle will have more of a rounded bottom and not as sharp of a point, because sharp points can actually like pop threads in t-shirts and sweaters and things like that, can unravel easily if you use a sharp point. The stretch needles are more rounded, so they tend to go in between the weave better and easier and not be punching holes in your shirts when you're trying to piece it together, especially if you make a mistake and you're going to take out your thread. You don't want a bunch of holes left behind. All right, so stretch needles, and these are just whatever brand your sewing machine likes. My sewing machine really likes Schmetz, so that's what I use. No, I'm not an affiliate for Schmetz, but I will put some affiliate links for a website below so you can grab those. The other important thing that you're going to need is a walking foot or some sort of regulator foot. Some machines come with a built-in stitch regulator. Awesome, your machine's more expensive and fancier than mine. Yay! I have an attachment. It's really massive. It's kind of bulky looking, looks kind of crazy, but I'll tell you what, they're amazing. And normally they come with like a little metal bar at the back, or that you can attach to it, and I don't have my metal bar out, so I can't even show it to you. But that's that. It goes on just like you put on any other foot, but you need to make sure this little piece right here that makes it actually walk is on the top of the needle. The screw that holds your needle in, you need to make sure this is on top of that screw. All right, because then when the needle goes up and down, it makes the little feet on the bottom walk. Isn't that cool? So what ends up happening, I hit my needles off. What ends up happening is that these little grippy feet and these little teeth down here, they're called feed dogs, by the way. These feed dogs that are really sharp. Be careful you don't stab yourself with your needle. But these metal feed dogs and these plastic feed dogs, what they'll do is they will grip the whole chunk of shirt together. So you've got two shirts, both which can stretch. It grabs them together and pulls them like this. So the bottom feed dogs will go like this in a circle. They just go really, really fast. And because I'm not coordinated enough, I don't know if I can actually do this. The top ones, there we go. I don't know if that worked out right, but the top ones is the same thing. They will walk and grip with the bottom ones, and it'll pull it. So it will keep the top layer and the bottom layer going through together versus a top one that just sits like a regular foot and the bottom one pulling along. Sometimes that can stretch the top shirt out. Even though it's on interfacing, yes, I know. Remember, it still stretches in one direction. Highly recommend using the walking foot, or if your machine has a built-in stitch regulator or a built-in walking foot. One of my other machine that I don't have here right now, but is on its way here, its walking foot looks like this. And that is a Janome walking foot for what I have. And I like this one because it has a 1/4 inch marker on it. It's got a little metal piece right there. But this one does not work on this machine. It only works on my my Janome that's not here right now. I can't wait for it to get here, you guys. I cannot wait for it to get here. So I will put on this. I will put on my stretch needle, and then I will match my thread. I almost always use cotton thread. My machine likes it. I like it. Everybody's happy. So I will put a cotton thread in here that matches one or both of the shirts that are going to be going through. The way my shirts are laid out, they're laid out in rows. I do have some spots I need to fill in, and I will use, the client asked to do like a navy blue to fill it in. So I have a beautiful navy blue fabric that I'm going to use to fill in my chunks to make it nice and even. And once I get everything changed on here, I will bring over a piece of shirt, 2 shirts actually, and I will run it through and show you that the walking foot's actually pretty awesome. All right, so give me 1 second and I'll be right back. Welcome back. All right, so I have everything set up. I also have a marking on my sewing machine that is a 1/4 inch here because my walking foot does not have a 1/4 inch marker. It is technically one of like the groove, the holes in the foot is a 1/4 inch, but I don't like using that. By the time I realize it's off, it's already this far from the needle. I like to be able to practice a 1/4 inch out further. So the way I think about it is when I teach students to quilt, when you're driving, you don't watch the hood of your car. You watch out further so you can prepare and be ready. Now, if you're staring at your needle, by the time there's a mistake, it's too late to do anything about that. You can't swerve, you can't do anything. So if you line everything up beforehand and make sure it's all good before it gets to the hood of your car, to your needle, you'll have more time to react and straighten things out. And a lot of that also comes with practice. But I have a shirt here. It is a black shirt for the quilt. I actually have a black and a blue thread in here, so maybe, actually, is there even enough blue on here? Yeah, there is. Barely. We're gonna play a love-hate game I like, which is called Is There Enough Thread Left on My Bobbin? Also known as Bobbin Chicken. So we'll see how we do. But I use these colors so you could actually be able to see it, and I can check my tension easier, because you do want to make sure your tension's good. I also know some quilters that when they make memory quilts, they will use their serger and serge the edges of them. I don't like doing that because I like to iron the shirts open to prevent bulk at some of the seams, because they're very thick at the seams if you're not careful, especially like the 4-corner matchups. Now, if you want to make your quilt in such a way that you never have any matching seams, sweet, good luck with that. But to make it easier on me, I will actually iron all my seams open. So one shirt on top of the other, make sure it matches here all the way along. One reason I do like t-shirt quilts is once I've got it lined up, it's pretty well stuck. It's not going anywhere. If you do regular cotton fabric, sometimes it can shift on you, but t-shirt fabric kind of sticks to itself, which is awesome. And here is where I'm going to remove the sound from this clip so you guys aren't just hearing this really loud from here on out. But I'm gonna line it up on my little line here. I'm lining it up there. No, you do not need to sew and then go back over it, because this seam will be encased in another seam when you sew the pieces on the other side of it. If you want to, because it makes you feel all comfy inside, knock yourself out. I'm not gonna tell you not to do something that makes you feel more comfortable at your quilting. I do set it for, I am centered needle so that I can get a perfect 1/4 inch seam, and I use a 2.4 stitch normally. Sometimes if I'm piecing small pieces, I will drop that stitch length down, but I don't want to go any lower than a 2.4 when I'm going through such thickness. And 2 t-shirts and 2 layers of interfacing is quite the thickness. I also slow the speed down a little bit. I normally have it cranked to 100 if I'm just piecing cotton. I slow it down because it is going through more, and I don't want my machine to have to work super hard to keep up with me. I'd rather be a little nice. This is Ellie, everybody. I like to be a little nice to Ellie. Ellie, my Elna. So I'm gonna cut off the sound, and you guys are gonna hear probably just quiet noise. This isn't as loud as it normally is. All right, you ready? Did I win? Did I win, Chicken Bobbin? I didn't! Ah! I lost, guys. Which means I need to put another bobbin in and go the last couple inches here. But, sorry. Yeah, I lost. It happens. But I got my 1/4 inch. It's straight across. When I iron it, I'll flip it like this, and I will slowly go through and iron it open. Now, remember when you are ironing shirts and this interfacing, you can't run it this way. It will stick on the interfacing, not stick like glue stick, but it will get caught and it's not so great. So yes, it is a slow process. Yes, t-shirt quilts take longer, memory quilts take longer because you have to go through all this. You're gonna press all the way down. But let me finish that little bit in a minute. But you know, it's holding, it's good. We move on to, I tend to do one run through, then I'll grab the next two shirts, and I always take a picture of the layout so I can remember where everything goes. I'll do the next two shirts, and then I cut this one off and lay it back down, grab two more, so that way I'm not always ending and starting. I will have essentially a, what's it called, a chain piecing without actually chain piecing. Yeah, I like doing that because one, it keeps my machine from getting clogged up at the beginning and end of every one, because you always get like that little nest if you're not using a beginner when you're piecing. But if that bothers you, by all means use a beginner and an ender. It doesn't bother me, so it is what it is at this point. All right, what color shirt? I'm gonna do a green shirt next, so I'm gonna put green in the bottom to finish off this little bit. If you have a shirt or a quilt that's lots and lots of different colors and you don't know what to put in there, gray. Just choose a gray. If your shirts tend to be darker, use a medium dark gray. If your shirts are all lighter, use a lighter gray. Another one that people like throws people off is actually army green. Army green will disappear in most colors. Now, if your thread tension's good, you won't even see the thread. But if you've got some wonky tension, sometimes when you open up the shirts, you'll see it. So that just means you need to check your tension. All right, 1 second here. All right, I feel better now. Whenever that happens, I always recommend restarting a few stitches before where it ended off and kind of just go over those couple stitches a couple times just so you know you're secure and safe. But there we go, one down. Now to go do a lot more. And I still have to, once I've got it laid out, I still have to cut out the fabric for the filler space. So I will get on that probably tomorrow, y'all. Once I get the top done, though, I baste and quilt exactly like I baste and quilt any other quilt. I lay out my backing, I take my backing to the ground, because I have hardwood floors, I can do that, and then I lay my batting down, then I lay the top down, smooth it in between each level or each layer, and then I'm a pin baster. Yes, I pin baste shirts. I just use skinnier pins. I don't use my big ones. My size 3 are the biggest. I tend to use the size 2 when I'm doing t-shirt quilts, so that way I'm not, and if you have to force it, it's gonna make a hole, so be careful when you're going through. Maybe I'll do a basting video one of these times. I know I've done like basting reels where it's like zoomed through. Maybe I need to do a basting video, guys. If you want one, let me know. And when I do create it, somebody will have to remind me to link it back to this video. So you have that for you. But I am going to finish off the rest of this quilt. Hopefully not tonight. It's almost dinner time, y'all. I'm gonna go make some dinner. And then I'll finish this quilt tomorrow. But I hope that helped you guys. I hope you're able to make some t-shirts, some gorgeous memory quilts. If you do make a memory quilt using my recommendations, please tag me in them. Send me pictures. Comment below with a picture and your Instagram or something, so that way I can go and I can follow you and be like, yay, and be super supportive. I believe one of the designers, I can't remember who it was, and I am so sorry, I can't remember who it was. She made a comment like, helping others helps everybody or something like that, about rising tides. Guys, I'm no good at quotes. But if we all help each other and we're all cooperative, how could that be terrible? I'm helping you to make your quilts better. You're letting me know, which brings me joy, and that can't hurt anybody. So more helping each other, and we will all have beautiful, beautiful projects to show for it. So thank you for watching this little mini series on memory quilts, and please let me know what you've created. Thanks. Bye.